Hey guys, good morning. Flamengo greetings. This is Flamengo. I'm recording this video here before going to sleep and scheduling it for 5 in the morning. Fluminense just lost after everything that happened. The fantastic week for the tricolors. I feel sorry for the president of Fluminense. This guy is going to go through hell, man. This guy, let me tell you, Matias Rubro Negro. Oops. Mateus Montenegro, he's done for. The whole Fluminense crowd is cursing him out. They're desperate. They're really desperate. Look, let me tell you something. I think this is the worst situation for Fluminense getting relegated to Serie C. Those guys helped the biggest rival. All right, some people are saying they helped themselves too because they rested for the game against Flamengo. But man, it's unbelievable. It's so good, man. It's so good. I'm really enjoying this because the Flamengo players had a break. They're not revolutionary players. Fluminense loses to Flamengo, loses to Rivadavia after a comeback with a goal like straight out of a comedy show. Man, it's unbelievable, man. And I predicted it. And if you're just arriving here, I want to invite you to follow, like, and share on all platforms. If you're on YouTube, I invite you to subscribe down below, turn on notifications by clicking the bell, and leave a cool like on the video. This video is brought to you by Caravana do Haroldo. You can secure your spot at the Champions League, the Libertadores, the Copa do Brasil, the Brasileirão, and games at Maracanazo with tickets. In fact, there are 2 available right now, right? After Flamengo plays their away games, there are 2 games in a row. Flamengo closes out the Libertadores group stage with 2 consecutive games at Maracanã. You can secure your ticket, including Caravana do Haroldo, and you can also lose weight in a healthy way with Mais Cabello. Secure your discount at Mais Cabello right now. Check it out. Yesterday, earlier in Placar magazine, look at this. Yes.
Esse ganha sofrido. 2-1. Excellent guess. Excellent guess. Bandera. That's my guess. 2-1 Fluminense. Very good guess. Raiza, your guess. Fluminense and Rivadavia.
2-1. Good guess. Fluminense 2-1.
Fluminense wins 2-1. Creative. The talk is going to break the chain. Want to see? It will. What's the score going to be? 4-4. Here he comes.
It feels like Maracanã.
Disso aí você entende, né?
É, zoa. Yeah, I like it like that, showing off a little.
Isso daí eu tenho que falar, né? Cara, mas tá com toda a pinta de paçocada, Ilan. It totally looks like a mess. I could be wrong.
But my bet is 2-1 for Rivadavia.
Good guess, okay? Good at guessing. But I think it's 2-1 Fluminense. I think the game will be good. It's going to be all about strength, you know. It's going to be tough. But still, Papa's guess isn't bad. No. It's not a far-off scenario, no. No, it's 2-1, 1-1. These aren't far-off scenarios. For the entertainment, Ilan, I think we could. It would be interesting. That's it, I see.
For the entertainment, it would be interesting for the show. Today at 1 p.m. we have a live score show and we'll react to this section. Yeah, they thought it was for the entertainment, but they kept making fun of me over there and all. That's right. Who warns is a friend, right? I was already predicting it, man. The situation was shaping up that way. And Fluminense lost after turning the game around. They really got themselves in trouble now. They really got themselves in trouble in the group stage of the Copa Libertadores da America. The situation got ugly for those guys, man. People are even reposting this here, right? Look at the people. Really, man? Do the C. Man, I'm going to tell you guys, dude. Everyone is posting this here, making fun of it. Yeah. We joke around, but just imagine, man. Imagine how those guys must be feeling, right? My friends. Now check this out. Let's go. Bringing news about Mango for you guys. Very important news, right? We brought it last night. Flamengo is giving a vote of confidence to the players. This news comes from Rodrigo Lima from Coluna do Fla. Coach Leonardo Jardim chose to give a vote of confidence to Flamengo's squad and decided to suspend the concentration regime for matches played in Rio de Janeiro. The measure will already be in effect for this Thursday's match against Independiente Medellin in the Copa Libertadores da América. So, unlike usual, the players didn't have to spend the night at Nindarubu on the eve of the match. They went back home and were only expected to report back on the morning of the game this Thursday at the Nindarubu Training Center. So, there's the usual activation, but the players went back home and are reporting back this morning at Nindarubu. Man, I think it's important. The recovery work they're doing with De La Cruz and Gonzalo Plata is important, with each of them dealing with a different issue and a different recovery process. De La Cruz is a completely different kind of case, right? It really was a physical issue for the player, and I even think there was a mental side to it too, right? He needed all this support he got from his teammates, and he's really on the rise. I think it's going to be a very favorable year for De La Cruz. It's going to be a fantastic year for Nicolas De La Cruz. I said this yesterday, and I'm saying it again now. So it's important for us to bring this information to you, okay? Always bringing you everything based on our own reporting as well. Flamengo, the atmosphere is fantastic, like I said yesterday. And I think this vote of confidence to do away with the pre-match hotel stay is important, right? If the coach and the coaching staff see that the players are really committed, it's the right time too, right? Give a vote of confidence. Give a vote of confidence. I totally agree with that, okay? So I'm bringing you all the information about the upcoming game. It's Copa night. It's Comebol Libertadores night. So the game is at 9:30 p.m. at Maracanazo, the second round of Group A of the Comebol Libertadores, broadcast on ESPN and Disney+. The probable lineup for Flamengo: Rossi, Varela, Leo Ortiz, Leo Pereira, and Alexandro, Everton, Araujo, Paquetá, and Arrascaeta, Gonzalo Plata, Samuel Lino, and Pedro. The coach is Leonardo Jardim. The only absence remains Jorginho Pulgar, who is still under medical care. The probable lineup for Independiente Medellin: Salvador Itiasso, Liza Chavera, José Ortiz, Daniel Londonho, and Frank Fabra. Ryan Palacios, Baldomero, Perlazza, Alex Serna, Daniel Catania, Francisco Chavera, Francisco Fidricevic, and coach Alejandro Restrepo. Man, I'm going to tell you, there are only complicated names on this Independiente Medellin team. The referee is Andres Matonte from Uruguay, who has already officiated a Flamengo match. Assistants Martins, Sopi, also from Uruguay, Pablo Larina, and the VAR official Antonio Garcia. So the entire refereeing team is from Uruguay. So we're bringing you this important information about Mango. So with Saul now recovered, Leonardo Jardim has another option, besides De La Cruz, who is also doing very well. That gives him those important options: Nicolas De La Cruz and Saul. There's also Everton Cebolinha. So even without being a starter, the Spaniard increases the options and allows for more rotation in the midfield. As a defensive midfielder, he emerges as an alternative to avoid moving Paquetá back, despite the Brazilian's good performance in the Fla-Flu. The competition for the position includes De La Cruz and Everton Araujo, as well as Saul himself, who played that way during part of his time at Sevilla. So although it's his original position, Saul can also play out wide on the right, a role initially considered by Felipe Luis. Here's another situation that's worth mentioning. The player performed better as a defensive midfielder, but Felipe was using him more on the right. Paquetá has also been performing better as a second defensive midfielder, but he can also play on the right, so Flamengo now has many similar options in the midfield. options there, including Paquetá, who can replace Arrascaeta, and even Carrascal himself. Flamengo now has a lot of players in the midfield. Flamengo doesn't struggle with this now with Saul's recovery, and even more so after Jorginho and Eric Pulgar recover. Yeah, his return to midfield increases the competition in an already packed area, which also includes Carrascal and Plata. That's considering him on the right side, okay? Plata and Carrascal, for example, are more about pace out wide. So Flamengo has a lot of options there, man. I'm happy to see Flamengo managing to solve all these issues there. About physical issues and such. But we know that when Jorginho and Eric Pulgar come back, Flamengo's quality increases a lot, okay? Look, we have some very important news to bring you right now, some extremely relevant information. The council voted to approve the accounts. Flamengo also released its 2025 financial statement, and it confirmed a total of $286 million in operating revenue, the highest amount among clubs outside Europe. So the amount was converted to dollars, okay? $286 million, the biggest club in revenue outside of Europe. Among clubs outside of Europe, Flamengo is the biggest, okay? The club reached $380 million in revenue, a 65% growth. What I mentioned before was there were 286 million in operating revenue, and now 380 million in revenue, a 65% growth, driven by titles, prizes, broadcasting rights, player sales, and commercial revenue. Look how incredible that is. For comparison, Inter Miami with Lionel Messi and Luis Suarez made $215 million in 2025, okay? Converting that to euros, 242.8 million Flamengo is already at the same level as European clubs like Benfica with 283.4, actually a little less for Flamengo. West Ham 276 million. Flamengo is ahead of West Ham and is also ahead of many giant teams around the world, okay? That's according to the Deloitte Money League, okay? Flamengo is now established as the richest club in the Americas and the one with the highest revenue outside of Europe. Man, congratulations, that's amazing. Yeah, we know it's going to be really important for Flamengo to keep this up so they can keep competing for national and international titles. Guys, look, man, I like it, man. I like him. I'm not trying to knock him, okay? I hope he doesn't take it the wrong way. I'm looking at it from the folklore and superstition side, okay? Pose do rodo, right? Every time, every year that he unfortunately gets arrested, every year, Flamengo. Or fortunately, I won't say that. That's what I didn't want to say, you know? But it's because every time, let's put it this way, he makes a sacrifice for us, okay? Every time he gets arrested, Flamengo has a fantastic year. Look, so his arrest, MC Pose do Rodo's arrest, coincided with Flamengo winning titles in the Copa Libertadores da América, okay? And national titles too, the Brazilian Championship, Copa do Brasil. Look, 2019 Pose arrested, Flamengo champion. 2025 Pose arrested, Flamengo champion. 2026 Pose arrested again. I hadn't seen this one before, man. That's crazy. If the pattern continues, man, he'll have to make this sacrifice every year. Poor guy, folks, for God's sake. Yeah, but that coincidence exists. It really does. There's no way around it. Look, we're also bringing this to you. We talked to you yesterday about Jorge Cascal, right? His suspension was reduced by the STJD. He'll be out for Flamengo in 3 Brasileirão matches against Bahia, Vitória, and Atlético Mineiro. But Flamengo hasn't made an official statement yet, okay? Carrasco's punishment. We know that usually when a player goes through this kind of situation, like getting sent off in a childish way, Flamengo ends up giving a punishment. But Flamengo hasn't announced this punishment. We only know about this suspension from the STJD. Yeah. Man, I'm really having a lot of fun with all this joking around about Fluminense losing the lead. People are sending stuff telling me to do it too. Then people are making fun of Felipe Melo. Roof. Oh my God, man. It's really good. It's really good to see that our rivals are desperate, especially since they're saying, hey, we helped Flamengo. You didn't help at all. You were going to lose anyway. That's the reality. So that's it, guys. I invite you to follow, like, and share on all platforms. If you're on YouTube, I invite you to subscribe down below, turn on notifications, hit the bell, and leave a nice like on the video. My predicted score June 11th, 2024 is 4-0 for Mengão. 4-0 Mengão, Flamengo 4. Independiente Medellin 0. So what's your predicted score? Comment here. I'd love to read your comment. I want to remind you once again that you can get official Flamengo products and help a lot. Flamengo helps too. Our channel here on Shopee, on YouTube, has the official store right here. You can get completely original Flamengo products and really help our beloved club. So there's also the magazine, the Placa magazine guide, the 2026 Libertadores guide, and many other official products that you can get right now on YouTube shopping. Once again, I want to invite you to subscribe to the channel, turn on notifications, hit the bell, and leave a cool like on the video. Thank you so much for your company. Greetings, Rubro Negro. This is Flamengo. Big hug. Thanks. I'm out.